So, I think about a month ago, month and a half ago, I was worried and nervous and thinking, man, we don't have a chance of getting into this thing. But the last couple weeks, running good at Kansas, running good at Pocono has gotten me really fired up that we have, found. And let me tell you, it's not just building a new car. I mean, it's looking at the way we're doing things and I wish I could get more into detail about what we're doing, but we're looking at the other teams that are beating us, and then trying to figure out if we could duplicate that back at the shop or in the wind tunnel or in simulation, and try to figure out what we're missing. And I think we hit on some things, and that's why we've been competitive. And I think that we've closed the gap up to those guys because they got ahead of us on it. And I think that if we can consistently stay on top of that, then we're going to do more than just squeak our way into the chase.
Let's go to Tom, and then we'll go back to Marty.
Hi, Jeff. Tom Jensen, Speed.com. We've heard all along with the new point system that guys might gamble to try to get race victories. With you having 2 victories already and in solid position for the chase, late in the race, will you be more conservative maybe than you would be in the past because it's important to be in the top 10? So your bonus points count, or is it still kind of throw caution to the wind at the last pit stop?
Well, I don't feel like we're safe. I saw the at the end of the race there, I saw some quotes because they're showing some clips on some shows I was doing, and they're saying, this pretty much locks us in. I don't agree with that. I think there's too many races left. There's too many guys, to me, around us outside the top 10 in points that can win 2 or more races before the chase starts. So, I don't think that we can really take these huge risks. We'll evaluate every risk out there, and it's like this. If you're 10 laps short on fuel, at the end of this race, that's not a risk. we're taking. You're not going to make it. You're not going to save 10 laps. Now, if we're 5 laps short, that could be a risk worth taking for any team out there, and it does. Anybody in the chase, in the top 10 or outside. So, to me, it's always risk versus reward, and I don't think the point system or our position with having 2 wins or where we're at right now is going to make us take any more risk than we would any other way. Now, if we are in the championship and there's 1 race to go and the only way we can win the championship is we absolutely have to win the race and we didn't have the car to win the race, then that's worth taking because it's kind of a win or nothing situation, and we're not in that situation right now. Mm-hmm.
Go back to Marty, and then back up here to Rusty.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Jeff, been 3 years since Junior won. It came here 3 years ago. What is that kind of drought? Not that you've ever had one, but what's a victory drought like for a driver of his stature, and what would it mean for the sport and Hendrick Motorsports once he gets one?
Well, I find this very interesting because those guys are having a spectacular season. And I've been in that situation before where, we're having a great year. We're up there leading the points or battling for the championship, and we hadn't won a race, and that's where the focus was. And that to me is not right. Those guys are they're knocking on the door. And I know, that's just part of what comes along when you're that popular and your name is Earnhardt. And until he wins, nobody's going to lift the finger. So I think he recognizes that. Steve recognizes that. But I hope it doesn't affect what they're doing out there because I think they're doing amazing. I wish the focus was, wow, look at the year Junior's having, and he's, 3rd in points and knocking on the door, of 1st and 2nd. So I think if they keep doing what they're doing, the win will come. And this is definitely a track that they can win at. I mean, the car, I know that's set up, and it's very good. And I know that, as good as those guys have been this year, and Junior runs well here too, that this is a race that they can win.